So my name's Lisa Jarvis. I'm the project manager for the Children in Care Wellbeing Project for Devon. It's a joint project between the CCG and social care, looking at supporting children in care who've got mental health support needs. The main thing is that young people have told us what they think is going to make a difference to their lives. And actually, it doesn't matter whether it's music lessons or art lessons or swimming. What really matters is that I think for the first time, we're truly listening to young people and they are telling us what is going to make a difference.
Many children in care have either suffered some sort of trauma in their lives, either because of their history or just the nature of coming into local authority care. And that will have some impact for the majority of them on their emotional health and well-being. Traditionally, the support around that is usually been sort of more formal therapeutic input from our colleagues in CAMS. And for many young people, that either they're unable to access that, or the time's not right for them, or they just don't want to sit down and talk about things that are difficult for them.
It's just actually just feeling listened to rather than not, and like because I know what's right for me, and whereas others may not know what's right for me, and it's just helped with that. And actually, like social workers and PAs actually getting to know you, rather than just reading on a bit of paper that like, oh, she likes this, she likes that. But whereas it's been nice just to actually like sort of bond with a social worker and actually have that connection that like they're not just reading a bit of paper and they're actually listening to you.
It's great that this project allows for the co-production of young people in setting up the project, and it's so important that that is kept throughout the whole project and in the sustainability model, and that's done properly and it's not tokenistic, it's not a tick box exercise, because young people genuinely can tell you what works and what doesn't work in support planning and how they'd like to receive a service.
So it's been agreed that I was given a personal budget. One of the things I asked for was a microphone because I do my own personal raps, and I feel like that would help me as they would sound better and more professional. Rapping's so important to me because I can get my emotions out and I don't feel like I'm being judged all the time by saying it because I'm only doing it with myself.
Marshall was bringing the things that he felt were going to be important to him. It wasn't about me sitting down and providing red tape and saying, oh, this is what we've got to try and do. It was actually about what's going on for you.
When I got to have the conversation, it was exciting because I felt like I could have more control over what was going to be bought for me. I don't think, even though as much as my social worker knows me quite well, I don't think she would have chosen like things that I necessarily would have wanted.
I think the different conversation that the young people have is fantastic because it means that they get to take ownership over things in their lives. They get to decide, they get to say what's best for them. And I know for my young person in particular, she's got to decide absolutely everything about how this project will help her.
We're offering small and large personal budgets for children in care and care leavers aged 14 to 21. And they're personal health budgets that specifically promotes mental health and wellbeing.
In Bristol, we'd already set up some personal health budgets for children who meet continuing healthcare criteria, and I'd already seen some of the benefits that you can get through kind of choice and control over how funding's spent and some control around the packages of support. So I could really see the benefits for other groups of people really, and particularly for care leavers who can kind of drop off the edge of a cliff when they leave care, and there's very little resources around to really support them, and their budget's probably going to be very limited, that there's kind of very little room for some nice things in life.
And I think the purpose of it, whether the young person goes for gym membership or maybe gets a bicycle or maybe signs up for therapy, I think the fact that it is so instant There's very few forms to fill in. They can get what they want within a couple of weeks maybe. It just gives them a purpose to their life, something to get up for. It gets them out. It helps with their loneliness and isolation.
Life before I had my budget was kind of stressful because obviously I didn't have any help at all, and obviously I was just going through family and friends trying to find help, and it just wasn't happening. So when I found Barnardo's through social services and stuff, and they give me my mental health budget, it's kind of helped me a lot more because I feel less entitled to harm myself in certain ways, and I haven't tried taking my life in as much as I used to. And in all fairness, the budget has actually helped with my mental health and has calmed it down a hell of a lot because I'm going out more. I've got my mountain bike from my health budget, so that gets me to see my family and friends more. I've got more time to myself that I can go out and be on my own and do things by myself. So yeah, it has helped me a lot. I was sofa surfing and homeless. I've been homeless since I was 13. So obviously I'm now 21 and I've only just managed to get my flat, so obviously it's really stressful, obviously learning about budgeting and rent and gas, electric and things like that. But also with my mental health budget as well, they've managed to help me get a worker from 16 to 25 to help me every week, to obviously help me with any problems I have or if I ever just need to speak to anyone. And obviously through Barnardo's as well, they've got me help with mental health services like the Samaritans and mental health sanctuary as well. So obviously if during the weekends and stuff I ever feel like I want to harm myself, I've always got someone to speak to and always someone to help me.
One of the things the budget has provided is it's bought some specially commissioned tenancy support for Ant. So he's got a worker who sees him several times a week and will do for at least 6 months, and that worker's providing all aspects of tenancy support. I think without that, the service I work for isn't able to provide that level of support, so the fact that this budget has paid for that has just been fantastic, and in my opinion, you know, could make the difference as to whether the situation is successful for Ant.
If I didn't actually manage to find this help, I probably wouldn't be here now, and it has helped me so much. I've made friends through the budget. I've made friends with staff as well, and I've managed to get feel like I can trust the relationship I have with the workers. It feels like they're actually there to help you and they want to listen to what you have to say, and then they go and help you. With the help they give you, it's by what you've told them, and they try and base the help around you. So if you do end up feeling like no one's listening to you or anything, try and get hold of people and actually speak out, because otherwise it's just going to make you worse.
You're in control. I was taken back a bit. I was like, wait, what? Like, this is different to what I've had. Like, what's going on? Like, but they were like, yeah, basically, if you're the one in the situation, so if we give you control to what you could do to help yourself get out, then it'll be the solution from that, if anything, would be better than if someone was to help you. It's like they say, if you teach a man to fish, he can like feed himself, but if you give a man a fish, he'll just eat for one day.
I had quite serious depression and PTSD, so I wouldn't leave my house. I was quite suicidal at the time. I didn't really cope with it too well, so everything just felt like it was all crashing down on me. I got offered the personal budget, and I had different conversations, and we agreed for me to have a gym membership to get me out of the house. It was a big excuse to leave the house, and I didn't have to trust anyone to go to the gym. Like, I could just go there on my own. It made me feel in control, which is quite nice, because normally with your mental health you're not in control. People decide for you what's best for you, when really only you know what's best for you, and whether you're going to engage with that or not. So for me, it has helped me out a lot, because I wouldn't go to therapy and I don't take my medication. So to be able to have a different way of expressing my mental health was really helpful. I currently work for Barnardo's and on the pilot scheme, so I support a lot of young people through the journey of the budget. I've recommended so many young people because it is a brilliant project, and it gives young people more belief in themselves, that they know what's best for them. Like, some professionals know what's best for you, but only you know what works for you, because everyone's different.